everyone. I Neha Thakkar, Assistant Professor at New LJ Institute of Engineering and Technology. Today we are continue with the Unit 3, that is Relational Query Languages. In that one, last time we have discussed some relational algebra. Today also we are going to discuss the other one. Last time we have discussed the select, then project, then the set operations. Right now we will start with the Cartesian product. So what is the main use of this? So sometimes if you want to retrieve the data which is in a more than one relation, that means some information stored in a one and the others are in other tables. So how to retrieve that? So at that time we required some operation that will combine that two relation or two table. So that is the basic use of Cartesian product. So the Cartesian product is used to combine each row in one table with each row in the another table. That means two tables are going to be combined. Sometimes it is also known as the cross product. So it will be denoted by this cross sign, and the syntax for that is, suppose the two relations are there, that is R1 and R2. So R1 cross R2, that way you can specify it. Now we will see the example for that one. So for that we are going to consider the two relation. The first one is the employee, that will be same as we have seen in the previous lecture also. The another one is the table or a relation. The name is EMP underscore department. It will be having the information what, which employee, which is here, right, in an employee table. So which department is allocated. So that information is stored in the another table, that is what, the EMP underscore department. There may be having another table, that is department. So it will be having what, the concept or the details of which are the total departments are there. So here two tables we are considering. Employee, which will be stored the basic details of employee, ID, name, city and salary. The another table we have taken, that is employee underscore department. It will be having the information what, which employee is allocated to which department. For example 101, so that will be in admin department. 101, that will be in account. Now sometimes it may happen that some employee who is not data is stored here, but the department is allocated, so 103 and teaching. Now if we are going to do the operation, that is employee cross employee department. So what should be that? The rows in a one table, that means first table, that is employee, is going to be combined with the each row of second table. So what happened here, the first row is what, 101 ID. Now it is going to be combined with all these three. So we'll see what should be in a output. So here you can see that 101 Ram, Ahmedabad and salary 10,000. It will be combined with what, the 101 and admin. Again the same row of table 1, that is employee, is going to be combined with the second row, that is 102. So you can see that this is the second entry. Again the same one, 101 ID, is going to be combined with 103. So you can see that the first three row, that will be of the first row or a tuple of first table, will combine with each row, that is 3 row with the second one. Same way 102, this is the second row or a tuple, it will be combined with each of the second relation. So in this way it will give the output. Now sometimes it may happen that the both table is having the same attribute name, as here see the employee ID in employee table also and the employee ID in EMP underscore department also. So what happened, how we need to specify or differentiate it? So always it will be differentiate with the table name and dot. So you can see that here employee dot EMP ID. That means this ID are of employee table. Here this IDs are of what, employee department table. So EMP underscore department dot. So in this way you can differentiate the attribute if it is going to be common one. Now you can see that previously we have seen the relational algebra operators, they are taking only one relation as an input. Here it will take what? The two relation as an input. You can see that employee and employee department. So it is a binary operator, and the result is, as always, it will be giving one relation. So this is one table as an output. So in this way the Cartesian product will work. The next thing is another one query we want to find out it. That means what? If you want to apply some condition, because as you have seen in the previous one, it will be giving so many tuples, right? So here the table length is also a smaller one. Here only 2 rows and here 3 rows. But what happen if we are having the larger table? So what we are going to do? We need to specify some condition. So here is the information we want. List the information of employee who have allocated department. That means we want only the information of employee. Those are having some department. So you can see that here 101 and 102 are going to be assigned a department, that is admin and account. So in output, I want only that two names. So you need to apply what? The condition. So how to write condition for that? You can see that just I have preceded it with the select, because the select operator is used to define some predicate. That means here we want some condition. So you can see that here only we have defined previously. That means a Cartesian product. Now we just need to identify or retrieve the data where the ID of employee table and employee underscore department table are same. You can see that in the previous one, there is no meaning of the other relation. This is having some meaning, because here you can see that employee ID 101, here also employee ID 101. So we can say that the 101 ID having the department admin. But right now the second row, the ID of employee is 101 and the ID of this is 102. So this is not having any particular information or a meaning of that statement. So just we need to remove those. So for that we need to apply the predicate or a condition. So for that we have to use a select. So here it is that. So you can see that the filtering of data is going to be that depending upon the condition. Here in a output, only two rows are that is of employee ID 101 and 102, because just we have put the condition. This is that the both ID must be the same. So when you are going to use a Cartesian product, normally it will be used with the some condition, then and then whatever the informations are there, it will be having some meaning. So in this way you can use the Cartesian product. The next one is a join operation. As we have seen in the Cartesian product, there are so many tuples, or in output relation there are so many combinations are there. So another option is a join. So join is normally what? It's a Cartesian product which will be followed by a selection criteria. That means if we need to apply some condition, so we can directly go for the join. The join can be specified with this symbol. So the join will be used the same as a cross product or a Cartesian product. It will combine the relations or tables. Now the various forms of the join operations are there. The two main are the inner join and outer join. So we will be starting with the inner join. Inner join, again it will be classified into three parts. The first one is a theta join, then equijoin and natural join. This all are depend upon how we are writing the syntax and either the condition, which type of condition is going to be there. So first we will start with the theta join. So theta join is used when we want to apply some condition when the two tables are going to be combined. So the form of that is what? A, then the symbol of join and the another relation, that is B. Now here with that symbol, here as a subscript you can use a theta. So theta is defining what? A condition, nothing else. Theta will be used to define a condition. So here for this if we want some information like list the information of employee who have allocated a department and the salary is greater than 10,000. So two conditions are this. So we have already seen in the previous lecture how to just combine more than one condition. So you can see that here the cross product of two table, in that one the selection sigma. So this we can write using what? The Cartesian product. Now if you want to write it with the theta join, so whatever the condition is there at the what? Select, just it will be replaced here. That means in syntax you can see that theta will be here. So as a subscript of the symbol of join, you can write the condition. So the output is going to be a same one as we have seen the in a Cartesian product. So this is about the theta join. So here you can see that two conditions are there. This is called a equivalence condition and this is the greater than condition. Now next is what? The equijoin. So that is what? The equijoin is same as a theta join, just a difference is what? When you want a condition of type equivalence, that means when a condition is like a equal to, so specifically that type of join is called what? The equijoin. The syntax for that is A and B are the two relation. This is the symbol of join and here the C that means what? A condition. So the same query can be write as a what? Employee first table or a relation. The another is AMP underscore department. In between here you have to write the condition, but here you can't write the greater than and less than. When there is the equivalence, only what? The equivalence is there, then and then you can go for the equijoin. The next one is what? The natural join. Whatever the two tables are going to be combined, it may happen that some of the attributes are same or it may be not. But in a natural join, it is required. That means what? Natural join can only be performed if there is a common attribute. That means common column should be there, must be there between the two relation, and the name and the type of the attribute must be same. Whatever the, suppose in one table employee there is a EMP ID, so in another table which you are going to combine, in that one also EMP ID must be there. So that is the natural join. It can be defined as the A and B, they are the two relation. In between you have to specify the symbol of a join. How it will work? So same two tables we are going to refer again, the employee and employee underscore department. Now if I'll write like this, employee then symbol of join and EMP underscore department. So the output is going to be what? Only two rows. So what happened, how it will be done? Whatever we have seen in the Cartesian product, right? It will give us what? All combination. That means here two rows are there and here three. So in output it will be given 6 rows. But what happened in natural join? It will be given in terms of what? This is the common EMP ID and EMP ID. So they are going to be combined when the EMP ID of employee equal to EMP ID of employee department. If both are going to be same, that row is only going to be in a output. So you can see that it is similar as a cross product with a selection, that means with a condition. So either you can write the cross product using some condition or directly you can write what? A natural join. So at the time of natural join we are not required to specify the condition. So this is about the inner join. The next one is a outer join. So now what happened previously in natural join, some of the data is going to be lost. That means if you are going to combine the information for say example previously, so this 103 data is going to be lost. So because of that there will be a outer join. Again three classifications are there: left outer join, right outer join and full outer join. So we will start with the left outer join. Symbol for that left outer join is here. You can see that this is the natural join symbol. Here two lines are there at the left side. It will be pointing to the left relation. That's why it is called the left outer join. Now what happened here, suppose these are the two relation A and B. So when we are going to combine it, when we are going to do the join of that, so whatever the left side relation is there, all the tuple in the left side relation, that will be in a output. So here the operation allow keeping all the tuple in the left relation, and if there is no matching tuple is found in the right relation, that means if that condition is not satisfied, whatever the common attribute is there, but the left tuple, or we can say the left side table tuples are going to be there, and if there is no match found for the particular attribute of the right side table, then it will be assigning the null values. So here you can see in the symbolic representation also. Now we will see with the example. Two tables are there, employee and the employee department. Here you can see that some data is going to be modified. That means previously it is only two rows are there. I have added a one row. This is 103. Manish Ahmedabad, and the salary is 12,000. And here in employee department, this is 104 and the teaching. Now if we are going to do the left outer join of this two table, employee and employee department. So whatever the left side table employee is there, all data going to be there. But you can see that this 103 is not available in the employee department. That means which department is allocating for the 103, that data we don't have. So at that it will place a null. So you can see in a output, first two rows are there, 103, but for 103 there will be a no department. So at that time it will place a null value, that means unknown values. So another is a right outer join. That means previously the right side table data are going to be lost. So because of that there will be a right outer join. The symbol is, you can see it will be pointing to the right side. That means what happened, the reverse of the previous one. Whatever the tuples in right side's relation is there, all will be there in a output, and no matching value in the left side, then it will be placing the null data. So we will see the example. You can see that here, if we are going to do this operation, right side table is this EMP underscore department. In that one, 101, 102 and 104. So 104 is not here in the left side. So what happened? It will place the null value of each attribute. That means employee name, employee city and salary. This all are what? The null. So this is right outer join. Now what happened? If we are going for left, then some data will be skipped of the right. If we are going for the right outer join, then some data is going to be skipped for the left. So now there will be another option for you, that is full outer join. So full outer join, that means what? If we are going to do the join, then whatever the data are in left table and the right, both are going to be there. And if there will be a no matching in the respective table, then that values are going to be filled with what? The null. So the same example we will see, these two tables. Here you can see that the information of 103 is not there, and here the information of 104 is not there. So if we are going to define it with the full outer join, symbol is this one. It will be pointing to the both left and right. So the output, you can see that it's the combination of left and right outer join. Here 103, this is going to be null, and for 104 we will be not having this information of employee. So this is going to be null. So in this way the full outer join will work. Thank you for watching this video. The remaining relational algebra we will see in the next lecture.